plastic food container flips into the air. Jollof rice splashes across an elderly woman's wrinkled face. Grains stick to her cheeks. Red oil runs down her nose, dripping onto her tattered brown wrapper. She blinks rapidly but does not move, frozen like a statue coated in sauce. Cars honk along the busy Odi road. Danfo buses shout for passengers. People stop and stare. The evening sun reflects off metal roofs, everything hot and loud. Amid the chaos, the woman stands quietly with a wooden walking stick, trembling slightly. "See you," Juliet snaps, her voice sharp. "You've already ruined my day. Next time, check faces before you beg." Juliet is 30, tall, composed. Her navy blue dress fits perfectly. Her heels click on the pavement. Her hair is straight and polished. She smells of expensive perfume. As one of STC's lead software engineers, everyone knows it, and she likes that. People whisper. Some glare. Some avoid eye contact. Juliet hisses, tosses the empty container into a nearby bin, and walks into the supermarket as if nothing happened. The old woman does not move. She stares at the ground, hands shaking on her stick. She tries to recall her name. Nothing comes. Only hunger and a blank mind. Across the road, a man in a simple shirt and jeans freezes. His name is Kola. He recognizes the face. He has seen it smiling in photos, in news articles, at charity events beside a proud son. Could it be? He moves carefully, watching the traffic. Yes, it is her. Madame Olivia, mother of Johnson Namdi, the billionaire CEO of Steck, believed dead 3 months ago. Kola's heart pounds. He steps away from the crowd, leans against a wall, and fumbles for his phone. "Hello, my man," he whispers when the line picks up. "Don't shout. I just saw your mother in front of Rex Supermarket, Oshodi. She's alive. Come now." A pause. Then one word, "Where?" Kola repeats the location. The call ends. He glances back at the woman. Jollof rice still slides down her face. She wipes it with her wrapper. Her lips tremble. She whispers, fragile, "Who am I?" That morning, Juliet woke in her air-conditioned room at the STC staff quarters on Banana Island. White curtains, white bed sheets, everything shiny and new. She told herself every day, "I earned this." She drove to work in a black staff car with tinted windows. Security guards saluted at the gate. Inside, the office smelled of coffee and new laptops. Screens glowed with lines of code. Engineers debated bugs and features softly. Juliet loved walking past them with her key card and confident smile. She had worked hard. Nights of study, hours of practice, but somewhere along the way her heart hardened. She began thinking she was above others. At lunch, she complained when food was late. In meetings, she interrupted. When junior staff asked for help, she sighed and claimed she was busy, even when she wasn't. That afternoon, while everyone ate, Juliet opened a takeaway pack of jollof rice, ate half, and pushed the rest aside. "Too oily," she said. "I'll grab something proper on my way home." On the office screen, news showed Johnson Namdi and his wife Amara. The headline read, 3 months after disappearance, search for Madame Olivia continues. Some staff bowed their heads. Madame Olivia was known for feeding the poor and sponsoring children's education. Juliet glanced, shrugged, and returned to her code. Now it's evening. The Lagos sky glows orange. Juliet parks outside Rex Supermarket, steps out, and checks her bag. Bread, milk, body spray, fruit. She's thinking about a weekend spa appointment when a soft voice reaches her ear. "Please, my daughter," the old woman says. "Help me with anything. I haven't eaten since yesterday. Anything will do." Juliet looks up slowly. The woman's wrapper is torn. Her scarf is dusty gray. Her eyes carry a tired kindness. Like someone who used to smile often. The wooden stick shakes in her hand. Juliet frowns. She glances at her dress, then the people passing. Anger rises. Not at the woman, but at the disruption to her orderly life, a sense that chaos might touch her. "Stay away from me," Juliet says. "Don't touch me." The woman steps back, nodding. "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anything to eat?" A bitter sensation rises in Juliet. She reaches into the car, lifts the old takeaway pack, the leftover jollof rice from the office, and walks toward the woman. For a brief second, the woman's face lights up like a small lamp, thinking she is about to eat. Juliet flips the lid and throws the rice. It lands across the woman's face. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Someone mutters, "Ah, sister, fear God." Juliet doesn't wait. She hisses and strides into the supermarket. Inside, the cool air carries the scent of fruit and soap. Juliet pushes a trolley, tossing in bread and milk. She scrolls through her phone while waiting at the counter. Still, the image of the old woman's soft, lost eyes lingers in her mind. Juliet pushes it away. Not my problem, she tells herself. People need to take responsibility for their own lives. Outside, the crowd has grown. Cola stays near the wall, watching. The old woman stands frozen, as if movement might break something further inside her. She glances at the traffic, at the sky, and tries again to recall her own name. All she finds is emptiness. Then 5 black SUVs turn into the street. Everything slows. Sirens are silent, yet their presence is unmistakable. Doors open. Men in black step out first, eyes scanning the crowd. A tall man in a dark suit follows. His tie is straight, his face marked by deep, enduring pain. It is Johnson Namdi. Whispers ripple through the crowd, phones come up. Johnson doesn't look left or right. He looks for one thing. Cola raises a hand, their eyes meet, and he points. Johnson quickens his pace. He sees a small circle of people, a gray scarf, a wooden stick, grains of Yolof stuck to a wrinkled cheek. He stops. He is a boy again in a small kitchen, watching his mother pack food for neighbors. He hears her laugh, her prayer over him. Then he is back in the street, a grown man with tears in his eyes. "Mama," he says, voice breaking. The old woman turns. Her eyes are cloudy but warm. She studies him as though looking at a picture she once knew. She tilts her head. "Who are you?" she asks softly. "Do you know me?" Johnson's lips tremble. "I am your son, your only child, Johnson." The crowd gasps again. A woman covers her mouth. A man whispers, "Jesus." Johnson removes his jacket and drapes it over his mother's shoulders. He gently wipes her face with a handkerchief, careful not to hurt her. "Mama, we thought you were dead," he whispers. "Where have you been? Who did this to you?" The old woman closes her eyes. "I don't know," she says. "I woke up on the street one morning. My head was empty. Today I asked someone for food. Her voice falters. She pours it on my face." Johnson stiffens. His eyes darken. "Who?" A door chime rings. The supermarket glass door slides open with a soft hiss. Juliet steps out carrying a small bag, smiling at her phone. Then she looks up and freezes. Her boss is kneeling in the street, holding the face of the homeless woman she humiliated. Security stands around them, cameras pointing. The world goes silent in Juliet's ears. Johnson turns, still on one knee, his hand on the old woman's shoulder. His gaze lands on Juliet. Recognition hits him like a storm. Juliet's lips part. The bag slips, milk rolling onto the pavement. "You," Johnson says, voice low and shaking. "Did you pour food on my mother?" Juliet cannot speak. "People are watching." The old woman looks between them, confused and frightened. A Danfo blares its horn. Somewhere a phone keeps recording. Juliet's knees weaken. Johnson rises to his full height. The air feels heavy. "Answer me," he says. The crowd leans in. Every breath holds. Silence in front of Rex Supermarket is heavier than the traffic noise. Johnson's voice, sharp and controlled, cuts through. "You! Did you pour food on my mother?" Juliet wobbles. She has faced boardroom questions, demanding investors, complex coding challenges, but this moment presses down on her chest like nothing else. She opens her mouth, but no words come. The crowd stares. Some whisper, others record. The old woman trembles, gripping her wooden stick. Her eyes search Juliet's face, trying to match it to a lost memory. Her lips part. "That's her," she whispers. "I asked for food." Tears stream down her cheeks. Juliet's heart races. She wants to shout, "It was a mistake." She wants to say, "I didn't know she was your mother." But nothing escapes her throat. Johnson's jaw tightens. "Get the car," he orders his driver. 2 guards guide Madame Olivia toward the SUV. He doesn't look at Juliet again, but his words hang like thunder. "You'll answer for this." The convoy moves. Doors slam. Engines roar. In less than a minute, they're gone, leaving Juliet frozen on the supermarket steps, her bread and milk rolling across the dirty pavement. That night, the news spreads quickly. Videos hit social media. Hashtags explode, sec boss mother, showy supermarket drama, engineer humiliates homeless. Clips show Yolof dripping down Madame Olivia's face, then Johnson wrapping his jacket around her. Captions read, "The missing billionaire mother found at last, and heartless worker disgraces boss's mother." Inside her Banana Island apartment, Juliet scrolls with shaking hands. Comments sting. "Wickedness, she has no heart, she should be sacked." She throws her phone on the couch and paces. No one understands, she whispers. She looked like any beggar. How was I supposed to know? But deep down she realizes it wasn't about ignorance. It was about pride. She drinks water but her throat remains dry. She lies down, eyes open, seeing only the old woman's gentle, broken face stained with food. Meanwhile, at Lagos Ultramodern Hospital, Johnson sits beside his mother's bed. The white room smells of antiseptic. Machines beep softly as doctors and nurses come and go. "Mama," Johnson says, holding her hand. "It's me, Johnson, your son." Madame Olivia looks at him, confusion clouding her eyes. "Johnson?" she repeats, testing the word. Slowly, like sunlight through clouds, she smiles. "Johnson, my boy." Tears streak his cheeks. "Yes, Mama." "I thought I lost you," her smile falters. "I don't know what happened to me. How I left home. Why my head is empty. I only remember hunger. Everyday hunger." Johnson squeezes her hand gently. "Don't force it. You're safe now. I will find out what happened." Behind the door, Amara, Johnson's wife, watches silently, tears in her eyes. She prays, "Thank you, God, for bringing Mama back." Back at Sontec, tension fills the office. Staff whisper in corners. The next morning, Juliet arrives, sunglasses hiding her tired eyes. Every stare feels like fire. She sits at her desk and opens her laptop but can't type. At 10 a.m., her phone buzzes. Report to the CEO's office. Her legs feel heavy as she climbs the stairs. At the door, she breathes deeply and knocks, "Come in." Inside, Johnson sits behind his desk, calm but firm. Amara sits beside him. A legal officer stands by the window. On the table is a printed photo, the viral one of Juliet walking away as the old woman stands with rice on her face. Juliet lowers her eyes. "Juliet," Johnson begins steadily, "you are one of our brightest engineers. You've contributed to major projects, but what you did yesterday is beyond words." "Sir, please," Juliet starts, voice shaking. He raises a hand. "Don't speak. My mother could have died. She's been missing for 3 months. While the world prayed for her, you poured food on her face. Tell me, Juliet, was that the spirit we value? Was that humanity?" Juliet's eyes sting. She wants to argue she didn't know, but remembers her own arrogance. "You can't stain my dress and go free." Johnson sighs. "You will face disciplinary action. Right now my focus is on my mother. This meeting isn't for your defense. It's for reflection." He nods to the legal officer. "She's suspended until further notice. Retrieve her staff car keys and restrict access to the quarters." Juliet gasps. "Sir, please." Amara looks at her softly, almost sadly, but says nothing. Security enters. Juliet hands over her keys, trembling. For the first time in years, she feels powerless. Whispers follow her down the hallway. She covers her face but cannot escape the storm outside. That evening at the hospital, Madame Olivia stirs. She sits up slowly, memory returning piece by piece. "Johnson," she whispered. "That morning I was outside the mansion. Someone grabbed me with strong hands and shoved me into a van." Johnson leaned forward, eyes wide. "Mama, do you remember who?" Her voice cracked. "Faces, shadows." Then nothing. Just hunger, just begging. Johnson's fists clenched, his mind racing. Kidnapping? Why? Who would dare? Before he could ask more, a nurse rushed in with a folder. "Sir, the test results are ready." He took the papers and scanned them. His face darkened. His mother wasn't just starving, she'd been drugged repeatedly for weeks. He looked at Amara. She met his gaze, fear in her eyes. Someone tried to erase Madame Olivia's mind. Johnson gripped the folder, chest tight. This was no accident. Someone wanted Mama gone. But who and why? The truth hung heavy in the air. Evening rain drummed against the glass walls of Sex Towers. Johnson stood in his office, the city lights of Lagos twinkling below. The folder with his mother's test results lay open on the desk. Terms like traces of sedatives and prolonged exposure glared at him. He clenched his jaw. Somebody hadn't just let her wander off. Someone had kept her hidden. Amara entered quietly, heels clicking on the polished floor. She carried a tray of food but froze at the storm on his face. "You haven't eaten since morning." Johnson shook his head. "I can't eat." "Amara, this isn't random. Whoever drugged Mama wanted her memory erased." Amara set the tray down, hands trembling slightly. "But who would do such a thing?" "She's the kindest woman I've ever known." Johnson turned sharply, eyes burning. "That's what I intend to find out." At the hospital, Madame Olivia lay in bed, restless. Shadows flickered in her mind. A van, men's voices, a sharp sting on her arm. Darkness. Then waking in strange places under bridges, in markets, begging for bread. A clearer memory pierced through, a hand with a gold ring pushing her out of the van. The ring bore a crest she recognized. Her eyes flew open. She grabbed the nurse's wrist. "Please call my son. Tell him I saw a ring." And that Ray team. The next morning, Juliet sat alone in her Banana Island apartment staring at her suspension letter. The walls, once a symbol of pride, now felt like a prison. She hadn't left the house since the incident. Calls stopped. Online, her name was still trending. She turned on the TV absent-mindedly. The news anchor reported, "In an unexpected turn, Madame Olivia Namdi, mother of billionaire Johnson Namdi, has been found alive after 3 months missing. Sources confirm she is under medical care and recovering gradually. Police investigations into her disappearance continue." Juliet's stomach twisted. The humiliation she caused was now national news. Worse, Madame Olivia had been missing, not dead. If I had just given her the food. If I had kept my mouth shut, she whispered. Tears streamed down her face for the first time in years. Her arrogance, once a shield, now felt like chains. At Sant quarters, the boardroom was tense. Executives waited stiffly for Johnson. The air smelled of coffee and tension. Johnson entered, tall and commanding. "We are not only a technology company, we are a family brand. But my mother was taken, drugged, and abandoned like trash. That means someone with access to our family knew how to reach her." Murmurs rippled across the table. Johnson raised a hand to silence them. "I want every staff member, from the top to the lowest cleaner, investigated. No stone unturned. Whoever is behind this will regret it." One director shifted uncomfortably. Another avoided eye contact. Johnson noticed. That evening, as he visited his mother again, she grabbed his hand weakly. "The man with the ring," she whispered. "He pushed me." Johnson leaned closer. "Mama, what did you see?" "What ring?" Her hand trembled as she traced a shape in the air. A golden crest. A lion. Johnson froze. His mind raced. Only one person in his circle wore such a ring. His uncle, Chief Damien Namdi, the man who helped him build Sante, acted as a father when Johnson was young and controlled part of the family fortune. Johnson's chest tightened. "Mama, are you sure?" Her eyes filled with tears. "I'll never forget it. That ring was the last thing I saw before everything went dark." Back in her apartment, Juliet sat with her laptop open, scrolling through hateful comments about herself. She wanted to shut it all down, escape. Then something caught her eye. A blog article. Headline, "Billionaire Family War. Chief Damien versus Johnson Namdi." She clicked. The piece detailed years of tension between Johnson and his uncle. Legal disputes, power struggles, rumors that Damien wanted Johnson removed from the company. Juliet's heart skipped. Could it be the man with the ring? She recalled the supermarket that day. The old woman's confusion, her plea, her hunger. Then she remembered Johnson's arrival and the black SUV parked across the street, tinted windows watching. Her hand shook. Perhaps she had seen more than just a beggar. For the first time, fear joined her guilt. That night, Johnson stood on his mansion balcony, cool breeze on his face. His phone buzzed. The head of security. "Sir, we reviewed CCTV from Ashi on the day you found Madame Olivia. There was a black SUV parked outside the supermarket." "Registered too?" Johnson gripped the railing. "Who?" "Chief Damien Namdi," came the reply. His blood ran cold. His jaw tightened. Someone close, someone family, and this was only the beginning. At sunrise, Johnson stormed into his study, fists slamming the mahogany desk, rattling framed family photos. His mother's voice echoed in his mind, a golden crest, a lion. And now the SUV at Oshodi was confirmed as Damien's. Amara entered, her silk robe brushing the floor. "Johnson," she whispered, "don't let anger blind you. Accuse without proof, and I have proof." Johnson's eyes burned. The ring, the SUV, the envy, it's all there. Damien has always wanted Sek, and now he tried to erase Mama to get it. Amara touched his arm. "Then act with wisdom, not rage. If Damien is as dangerous as you think, rushing will only help him." Johnson exhaled, chest heavy. "You're right, but I won't sit idle. I'll expose him." Meanwhile, Juliet sat at her dining table, untouched food before her, apartment untouched for days. Her reflection in the glass showed a pale, broken version of herself. Her phone buzzed, unknown number. She hesitated, then answered. A deep, commanding voice. Miss Juliet, you saw something at Odie you shouldn't have. You saw the SUV, the ring. If you value your life, stay quiet. The line went dead. Her hand trembled. She looked around, paranoid. Her arrogance had vanished, replaced by fear. What have I gotten myself into? She whispered. Later, Johnson entered Damien's mansion. Marble floors, crystal chandeliers, scent of cigars. Damien, tall and broad-shouldered, sat in a velvet chair wearing his trademark agata. The lion crest ring gleamed. Johnson, my boy, Damien boomed, smiling, storming in unannounced. What troubles you? Johnson's glare was steady. Enough pretense. Where were you 3 months ago when Mama disappeared? Damien raised a brow, sipping brandy. Disappeared? I thought she was dead. And now she's back, a miracle. Johnson's eyes darkened. She remembers you. The ring in your car were seen at Oshodi. Deny it, Damien chuckled, leaning back. Johnson, grief clouds your mind. Rings can be copied. Cars borrowed. Are you so eager to blame your own blood? Johnson's hands shook, but he held his voice. If you are innocent, you won't mind police questions. Damien's smile vanished, eyes cold. Be careful, nephew. Families break when trust is lost. I raised you like a son. Don't make me your enemy. The room chilled. Johnson stared at the lion crest glinting under the chandelier. Enemy or not, his uncle was hiding something. At STC headquarters, whispers grew. Juliet's suspension fueled gossip. Some mocked her. Others were curious. She ignored them. That night, she emailed Johnson. Sir, I know I wronged you, but I saw something important at Oshodi. A black SUV and a man with a lion ring. Please hear me out. She hovered over the send button, heart racing. Speak and she might be a target. Stay silent and her conscience would torment her. Finally, she clicked send. At midnight, Johnson read her email twice, jaw tightening. Juliet had observed the same details his mother remembered. No coincidence. Amara peered over his shoulder. Do you trust her? Johnson shook his head. No, but if she's truthful, she may have seen more than she realizes. And if Damien suspects it, she's in danger. His phone buzzed. Unknown number. If you value your mother's life, stop digging. This is bigger than you think. Johnson's heart pounded as he glanced at his sleeping mother through the glass partition of her hospital room. Machines beeped softly, a fragile sign that she had survived. He whispered, No, I won't stop. Whoever is behind this, even family, I'll bring them down. Far away in a private lounge in Lagos, Chief Damien spoke quietly into his phone. She's talking too much, he said coldly. The engineer girl. Handle it. Consider it done. The man on the line replied. Damien ended the call, his golden ring catching the dim light. A slow smile spread across his face. Nephew wants war? Then he shall have it. The city of Lagos buzzed with its usual chaos, blaring horns, hawkers shouting, Danfoss weaving recklessly. But inside Sant Hospital, the air was tense with fear. Johnson sat beside his mother's bed, holding her hand. Madame Olivia's breathing was steadier, yet the shadows of trauma lingered in her eyes. A knock at the door made Johnson look up. Detective Femi entered, a stern man with broad shoulders and sharp eyes. Mr. Namdi, he said, placing a folder on the table. We traced the SUV Juliet mentioned. The registration is in Chief Damien's name. But that's not all. The folder opened. Photographs showed Damien meeting shady businessmen. Documents detailed secret accounts, and there were records of transfers to known thugs in Odie. Johnson's fists clenched. So it's true. He wanted her gone. Detective Femi's voice dropped. Be careful. Damien is powerful and has men everywhere. We need more evidence before taking action. Meanwhile, Juliet's apartment was silent except for the fridge's faint hum. She sat in the dark, hugging her knees, eyes flicking to every sound. Since emailing Johnson, her phone buzzed constantly with unknown calls. Each time she answered, only silence or a whispered warning. Keep quiet, or you die. That night, glass shattered. Juliet bolted upright. A shadow slipped inside. Heart racing, she grabbed her phone and hid in the wardrobe. The intruder's footsteps grew louder. Trembling, she typed to Johnson. They're here. Help me, Johnson's phone buzzed. Seeing the message, he jumped up and barked to Detective Femi. She's in danger. Juliet. Minutes later, Johnson, Amara, and 2 policemen raced through Lagos. Juliet's apartment was wrecked, curtains torn, furniture overturned. Juliet huddled in a corner, tears streaming, clutching her phone. They tried to kill me. They know I saw the car. The ring. Johnson knelt beside her, his voice softer than before. You're safe now. I promise. But you must tell the police everything. Juliet nodded, guilt heavy in her chest. Sir, I humiliated your mother. I thought I was untouchable. Now I see my pride almost cost me my life. Please forgive me. Johnson studied her. The arrogance was gone. Forgiveness is for Mama to give. If you want redemption, stand with us. Speak the truth. 2 days later, the High Court of Lagos was packed. Journalists filled the aisles, cameras flashing. Outside, protesters held placards. Justice for Madame Olivia. Chief Damien entered wearing a white abaya, his golden lion crest ring gleaming. He looked confident, almost smug. When Johnson entered with his mother, Juliet, and Detective Femi, murmurs rippled through the courtroom. The judge struck the gavel. Order in court. Juliet took the stand first. Her voice trembled, but she spoke clearly. I saw the SUV. I saw the lion ring. Now I know it was Chief Damien's car parked at Oshoy the day Madame Olivia was attacked. Gasps filled the room. Next, Detective Femi presented the documents, bank transfers, thug testimonies, and CCTV footage. Piece by piece, Damien was locked in. Finally, Madame Olivia stood, fragile but resolute. It was his hand. That ring, he pushed me. He wanted me gone. Damien rose. Lies, all lies. But the gavel silenced him. After hours, the judge declared, Chief Damien Namdi, this court finds you guilty of conspiracy, attempted murder, and illegal detention. You are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment. The courtroom erupted. Damien was dragged away, his golden ring slipping from his finger. Outside, Johnson stood with his mother and Amara. The sky was golden. Juliet approached slowly, head bowed. Sir, Madame Olivia, I don't deserve forgiveness, but thank you for sparing my life. My child, Madame Olivia said, her eyes kind, placing a hand on Juliet's shoulder. Arrogance destroys, but humility saves. Don't waste the second chance, Juliet broke down, sobbing. For the first time, she felt lighter, as if the chains around her soul had cracked. Weeks later, Sec buzzed with life again. Madame Olivia had returned home, regaining strength. Johnson expanded the company into social impact projects. Juliet returned, not as lead engineer, but volunteering in sex community programs, feeding the poor she once scorned. Pride was gone, replaced by humility and quiet dignity. As Madame Olivia often said, pride makes you blind, but humility opens your eyes. For Juliet, those words were no longer a proverb. They were her truth. If you like this story, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel for more stories.